Okay, welcome everyone. This is the KubeVirt community meeting on 3rd of February 2021. As a reminder, feel free to add yourselves to the attendees list in the meeting minutes document. And also, again, as a reminder, if you don't have edit access, I see a couple of anonymous people. You just have to log in as, identify yourselves as a member of the KubeVirt dev group. If you're subscribed to that group, you have edit access automatically. With that said, let's jump in. So far, there is one item in the agenda from Chris. Oh, by the way, anyone who has any topics, of course, I said add yourselves as attendee, but any topics you want to discuss, of course, add them to the agenda. Okay, Chris, all yours.
Hi, everybody. We just have one last topic to discuss regarding migrating user guide to the Make Docs engine to convert Markdown to HTML and then serve via GitHub pages. So the question came up regarding whether or not we want to follow the same scheme that we have with the website, which is we do our work in a feature branch and then merge to source, and then automation handles the rendering from the source branch and renders to the master branch. Upon Pep and I having a discussion yesterday, we think we like folks to work in a feature branch and then merge to master, and then automation handles taking code in the master branch and rendering to another branch that will be served by GitHub pages. By default, GitHub pages serves GH pages branch, and so I think that's what we would like to use, and we just like to have one more consensus from the community. Does that sound about right, Pep?
Yes, I would even go beyond that and actually ask, does anyone have any objection to this? I guess the only concern here was that there is another repo on the KubeVirt.org at the moment, which uses GitHub pages, and that's the website, kubevirt.io. And that other repo uses a branch called source for the source. And if we keep using master here, that would be kind of inconsistent. But then one thing that we can do at some point would be to fix that inconsistency would be to modify the website repo and have a master, the master branch, well, behave as in the rest of the repos. So I would say, does that sound good? Anyone has any objection to that? No? Okay, then I think, Chris, we can proceed with that approach.
Okay, sounds good. I'll take care of the note in the community meeting notes so you guys can move on.
Thank you. And that was actually the only topic in the agenda. Is there any other topic that anyone wants to cover? If not, I have an item here in the open floor about the KubeVirt Summit, which is happening next week. There's a link here in the meeting minutes doc, but let me copy that to the chat as well. Just one second. So the schedule for the different sessions was published yesterday. It's available here. Great sessions, great content, several sessions. I mean, we target both users and contributors, so you will see each of the sessions. I mean, I'm sure you will find a few that are interesting for you. So feel free to register and attend. Registration is from the same page. Attendance is free. And yeah, we look forward to meeting everyone there. Any comments, questions about the summit? Anyone wants to highlight anything? No? Well, I see that Jen added the topic here about automated tests.
Yeah, so I just noticed that most end-to-end test lanes seem to not pass on every PR. It might be related to a specific test, 3106, I'm not sure, but I was wondering if anyone was already looking at that, so there's no duplication of effort. And
to be honest, not that I am aware of. I think this must just have gotten introduced just recently. I think a couple of hours ago, the tests still look good, but I haven't really looked lately. So yeah, thanks for pointing this out.
Okay, yeah, no problem. And I'll be looking at it because it's pretty concerning.
I personally saw that it is random, so I didn't see one specific one fails.
I have a question, I think regarding the summit as well. We had several discussions right here about the contribution and the roles and all of that, right? And I thought that we said that we will also have maybe a short or something in the session, in the summit related to that. But maybe I was wrong because I went over the schedule and
yeah.
there wasn't any session on that. And I think it's a good opportunity. It's a good opportunity to pull additional people into the effort, right?
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point, and thank you for the reminder. Yes, we did have a plan to have. So we wanted to have several general interest sessions, so to speak. One of them was about how to contribute to KubeVirt. That was kind of a predefined proposal or session, and that was the goal. Discuss this, how to contribute and explain precisely this policy doc. And by the way, Chris, you might want to add a plug here on the PR that you have open about this topic. But anyway, so the initial plan was to have a session about this, cover how to contribute and discuss all those processes. However, we did receive many good content proposals, session proposals, and we had to make a choice. So we actually had to reject a few proposals. So one of the proposals that was not actually a formal proposal, but it was kind of a general interest session was this one, and this was dropped in favor of proposals contributed by the community that sounded more interesting than this one. Does that make sense? We did keep a couple of sorry, just to complete, we did keep two sessions of this type of predefined, hopefully general interest sessions, which are actually three. Well, the first one is the welcome session. The other two one is still maybe slightly more oriented to contributors, which is the roadmap to B1, although it's open to, hopefully of interest to users as well. And the other one is more targeted at users, which is the office hour session, a space to ask any question to KubeVirt core maintainers. So those are the sessions that we kept like by default, but the how to contribute session was dropped from the schedule. Even if we extended actually the schedule for, we have 2 more hours than initially planned to accommodate for more sessions. And we also asked the presenters to shrink the session so they are all limited to half an hour total. So even then we didn't have space for all that content.
That's fine. Maybe someone will bring it up in the Q&A section, right? So
yeah,
you will have opportunity to answer.
That's actually an option as well. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Is there any other topic that anyone wants to discuss as part of the open floor? If not, we will switch to bug scrub for about 20 minutes, which is what we have been doing the past few meetings. Attendance, the regular, that ends the regular meeting, but attendance is encouraged to anyone who wants to contribute to that bug scrubbing. And Peter, I see your thing, you're here, you want to drive that?
Sure. Yeah, let me share the screen. Thanks. All right, which screen would it be? This one. Can you see a list of issues?
Yes.
All right. The first one was reported 2 days ago about an issue with networking. It raised that it may be related to SRIV, but I went into this and saw that it's just an confusion around the masquerade binding and the fact that it assigns this local IP address to the guest. So I'm waiting for the reporter of this to answer if that's all right. So the next one was opened by Kevin. I'm not sure if he's around. I don't see him in the chat. It's just heads up that our Golang version is kind of out of date and we should bump it to 1.15.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. We've it turns into a giant ordeal every time we have to update Golang for some reason. So I think everyone's a little nervous about touching it again after what it took to get to 1.13 so late. But we need to stay on top of this or else we get into kind of a bind.
I think maybe Roman's PR, who will make the KubeVirt builder image obsolete, could help really in this effort, right?
I hope.
At least then we don't have to update it anymore. I guess that you are referring to the giant hassle that we have is most of the time updating the builder image and all this stuff, right?
Yeah, I need to look a little bit closer at what Roman has done. I know that there are still tools that we use that I think, I'm trying to remember the complication. Maybe it was just updating the build container. There was tools that weren't compatible with the new version of Golang or something like that because we vendor our tooling. We had to update that, which kind of caused this ripple effect throughout the whole thing. Hopefully we simplified that. I don't know. I'd love for somebody to take this on as a task, but I don't know if we have any volunteers.
You are really afraid of this one, aren't you, David? Let me see. All right. Now our Katakoda example is broken with 37.2.
Yeah, One note on this one. Yeah, there is actually there is a repo for the Katakoda example. So so this issue should probably be moved there. We will take this one off to the Katakoda. It's called Katakoda scenarios. Yeah.
All right. Let me create it real quick.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and we will take it from there.
Support cross compile. This one is really short. Can add arc to support cross compile. Is this something we want to do? Have we ever considered this? I guess this means to compile KubeVirt for different architectures, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. We do cross compile. I don't understand the can add arch to. I don't understand what that sentence means.
All right.
Is the person wanting to add a new arch to our cross compile, or?
I would guess that they are looking for like an option to specify the architecture, but let's ask. Yeah. Okay. Permit host devices requires device ID to be in capital letters. And Vladik self-assigned it to himself, so I think we are good here. Use static IP for VM that live migration will be for its IP conflict. Okay. So they probably want to live migrate and keep the same IP address, but with usually what CNIs do, they assign every pod with a random IP that's usually bound to the node. So after migration, they get something different. And the request is to leverage a feature of this specific CNI that allows you to keep the same IP address. If I was to guess. Let me assign this one to myself. I'll take a look. Okay, 9 days ago. Our back row binding failed to. We talked about this one. Okay. I will ping Lubo to see if he's still on the thread following it. I'll make a note. We talked about this one as well. And it's looking for volunteers. So I guess we keep it open since it's just 9 days. The next one we also talked about, and we haven't gotten a response. With these, I guess we let them rot or then get frozen. We don't need to force the closing. I feel like since we have the bot for it.
Yeah, I saw, just to add a note that I think, I'm talking from memory, but I believe that our colleagues in China that have a community meeting, I think they mentioned that issue and they are reviewing that. So I think I saw that on their meeting notes. So yeah, let's leave it as is and see if feedback comes in next week or later.
Cool. Thanks.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just realized something. Sorry. Next week, the KubeVirt Summit is happening, so I should have added a note here. Yes, thank you for saying, everyone. Just the next week's community meeting overlaps with the KubeVirt Summit, so we will be not holding this community meeting, and we will meet everyone at the summit. Okay, I'll add it to the notes and also make it clear when I send the minutes. Sorry for the interruption, but I think that it was important.
No worries. Worries. Okay, C groups with V2. Is there any progress since the last time? Frankly speaking, good. The person reporting it assigned it to themselves, so that's good. And there is a PR. And it's just a draft. So I guess we wait until this is ready to be reviewed. Okay, how to add hot disk in CNV36. There's no ongoing discussion, so I'm not sure we have to do anything about this. I don't see Alexander on the call, so let's just skip it. Concern about the emulation variable. I was answered and never came back to it. I'm not certain how I'd be able to inspect support for nested virtualization. So they're running nested. I will follow up on this one as well. Sorry for missing the answer. Okay, this was a tracker and we decided to keep it until we get the proper version of KubeVirt available. Was there any chance on a change on the version since 2 weeks ago? I recall there were some changes to the base image, but not sure about the version. Taking it as a no.
I think that I saw, I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or more, there was a change for how we consume RPMs. We can see it on the workplace file of that Basil used. Maybe it's related.
Or would you check, like briefly, if you can find a version of KubeVirt that we use?
Let's see if it's let's see if it's there.
Cool. Thanks. All right. The next one, 21 days ago. Issue with extra disks behaving differently after upgrade.
What was the name of the package? KubeVirt Diamond Driver Storage Core?
Yeah, but this case is like this. It's not the important part of this. The important part is what's the current version of KubeVirt that we ship.
Right now it's 6.6.
Awesome. So it hasn't changed. Thanks for checking.
No problem.
Okay, for this one, Herman reopened it with okay, so it seems that there is an issue that we want to cover for legacy workloads. So we do want it in KubeVirt, but there is nobody to work on it right now. I would wait for Herman to appear on these calls. I read on his, yeah, and to give us an intro to this. Okay, enable to set the error policy. We talked about this on the previous scrub as well. There's an open issue for it, and okay, it seems to be still active. And Vladek, if you are here, is waiting for a review.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Thanks. Okay. Do we have anybody from storage? Michael, do you hear us? Are you with us? Would you get a chance to look at this one? I mean, they are using a lot of storage buzzwords I can't read.
Yeah, I think this is definitely something we want to look into. Yeah, I think Niels may have been, I know he was wondering about this as well. So yeah.
All right, cool, thanks. I mean, we don't have to fix it right now. It's just like to see if we can close it or it's something that we would like to have in KubeVirt.
I think it's something we definitely like to have.
Oh, nice. All right, and so what do we do now? I mean, how much effort do you think this would be, or is it something that's on our roadmap, like close, or is it nice to have somewhere in the future?
I don't know how much work it is. I probably have to investigate before I can. I think it is depending on yeah, I don't know how much work it is. But
that's fine. Sorry for having you on the spot here. Let me just copy this as something. Just to triage it, I guess.
Yep.
Thanks. Okay. Image upload failed using raw images. And we are waiting for an answer whether the gigabytes method.
Yeah, I think it was just a units thing.
How this is confusing. Okay, I mean, it will be eventually closed by the bot, so we might as well leave it. Or do we want to close it? No, let's leave it. CRD rest coverage 2 stopped working and artifacts are no longer updated.
I think I can chime in for Martin here. I think he's taking care of it. I'm not sure how far he got, but at least he's working on it.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for the update. Okay, so this one is on Margin as well. Report data from guest agent to VMI status field. He self-assigned this one as well.
Yeah, that's related.
Ah, okay. Okay, so let's assume it's in progress. KubeVirt launcher shutdown. Okay. Vladek, I know it was 21 days ago, but could you give us an heads up on what's going on here, if you recall?
The guest shut down, or crashed, or something happened. The guest is not there.
And it's a bug of KubeVirt that we really want to fix. Or is it some random corner case?
No, something happened to the guest. I don't know.
All right.
It's nothing. It could be anything. It could be a memory that was set that wasn't there and couldn't allocate memory. There are lots of cases. We just need to see logs.
Gotcha. Yeah. And now when I read the whole length of the comment, I see that we are waiting for more info. So let's provide the logs. Right. Thanks. Okay, where did we stop? Here. Okay, I recall. Yeah, there was an issue. I believe this was on the gate3s. Yeah. So let's just ask if the workaround worked. Add volume and remove volume have nobody in our API reference. Michael, sorry to abuse you, but could you bring this to some of the storage folks? I think it's just a missing field for the documentation.
Okay.
Thanks, appreciate it. Okay. Feature request, live update of VMI labels and annotations. Talked about this one as well. David, do you maybe know what, I'm confused by this being reopened after it was closed. This is the one when they wanted to change, they wanted the label of the VMI to be changed when the label of the VM is changed, something similar.
Yeah, I see the last comment now. I did not follow up on that. We're not gonna do that. So the request here is to propagate labels from the VM to the VMI, that these two entities are separate. So the labels and annotations in the VMI template section of the VMI are the ones that we would actually put on the VMI, and the ones there on the VMI, sorry, on the VM object themselves don't get, we aren't interested, I guess, in moving those over to the VMI.
Okay, so
we're not going to live update VM labels and annotations to a VMI. That's the easiest.
So thinking how to answer to this one. So we don't want to have this implemented, right?
We want to keep these two entities separate, and anything that goes on the VMI would be something that is coming directly from the VMI template.
Thank you. Thanks. I think that gets propagated to the VMI should be taken the template.
Okay. VMI template, maybe? If I understood correctly.
It's the VMI template defined, and
okay.
How much time do we have?
Yeah, I was about to say we already passed the 20 minutes, but you were in such a productive run that I kind of felt bad. You actually went through 24 issues, which is, I think, a record. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, we can leave it
I
here.
need to get some coffee now, but thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it's just, I don't have that great of feeling from this because we run so fast because a lot of these were already visited, but we are getting far in the past to the middle of December, so we are making some progress.
Indeed.
One question though, Peter, maybe, or the group maybe, community may answer this. Would probably some kind of label, bug scrub label or something for the investigated issues be helpful so that we can next time find all those that haven't been bug scrubbed more easily?
Yeah, I guess you get what you're getting at, but it's like we want to revisit those that were bug scrubbed anyway to see if there was any update. I think I was trying to avoid like labeling and bots and all of this to not bring too much process into this if we can handle it like naturally. But yeah, maybe it would be a terrible idea to have some system. I'm just not sure how to build the system or what should the process look like.
Maybe one option that would go beyond the bug scrum itself, but I don't know if the project has considered using some sort of priority labels. I think other Kubernetes projects do have labels that assign a priority for issues, and one of the goals, let's say, then one of the goals of the bug scrub becomes make sure that the labels, those priority labels, are correct, and then if they are, you can skip. A side effect is that you can much easily identify which has been triaged and not, and what status. But again, this has, I guess, bigger reach than just this bug scrub, and probably worth discussing. Make sense?
Yeah. It would be nice to have at least like a stamp on the issue to know that we talked about it. But yeah, when we get to prioritization, then we should keep up with it and make sure that we are giving priority to those prioritized issues. and it's like yet
Yeah,
another
but-
process.
Yeah, I mean, and I should clarify that those priority labels don't necessarily, like, for example, there is a priority label, something like awaiting information or something like that. And, you know, there have been a couple of instances today of issues that are waiting for evidence or something like that, that then you can easily skip.
Just to have the like states for this. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Okay, I'll try to see what others do and specifically what Kubernetes does, and if we can try to follow it and see if it helps us in a way. In 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's it for today then. Thank you, everyone, and see you next week at the summit.
See you there. Thanks.
See you.
Guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.